There are several commonly asked questions about the police pulling you over and taking a roadside breath test. Many of them lead to various myths, which, if believed, could get you into serious trouble. So let's go through some of those now and clear some of them up. So first of all, starting with the question, can the police just randomly pull over any vehicle? The simple answer to this is yes. Section 163 of the Road Traffic Act 1988 allows the police to pull over and stop any vehicle at any time for no particular reason whatsoever. And this leads on to the next question, which is whether the police can require you to take a roadside breath or drug test at random for no particular reason whatsoever. And the short answer to this one is no. The police cannot do this for no reason whatsoever. They need to have a reasonable cause to suspect that you, the driver, has consumed alcohol or have drugs in your system, or of committing some other road traffic offence whilst the vehicle is moving. One of the reasons this suspicion might come about is if the police officer asks you, when is the last time you had a drink today? And you say, at dinner time. This might give the police officer reasonable cause to believe that you are still under the influence and require you to have a roadside breath test. If you fail or refuse the roadside breath test, you are likely to be arrested, taken to the nearest police station, and then undergo evidential testing. And if you fail or refuse that, this is likely to lead to a failure to supply a specimen, which is a more serious offence. I said there is an exception, which is when the police can require a breath or drug test, and that is if there's been an accident. Police officers can just take a roadside drink or drug test if they reasonably believe that you are in charge of the vehicle that's been involved in an accident, whether or not the other vehicle was moving or involved or not. Now moving on to some of the common myths. Many people believe that coffee is going to counteract the alcohol in your system. This is broadly not true. Whilst coffee is going to counteract the sedative effect that alcohol has, it's not going to do much, if anything at all, to remove the alcohol from your bloodstream or to reduce your impairment to drive. Likewise is the argument about water. Water does help, but not quite in the way that you think. Alcohol makes your body dehydrated, and the water is going to help to prevent your body from becoming dehydrated. It may also water down the alcohol if you are drinking water whilst you are drinking alcohol. It's also going to help you to prevent and reduce the hangover the next day. However, it's not going to do anything to expedite the flushing of the alcohol from your system. You still need to wait for the alcohol to be metabolized in your system before you're going to be under the alcohol limit to drive. Same goes for eating. Many people believe that the food is going to absorb the alcohol and thus it's not in your system and thus doesn't put you over the limit. This is not strictly true either. Whilst eating can sort of block the pyloric valve to prevent the release of alcohol from your stomach into the rest of your system, or at least slow that down, again, it's not going to do anything to actually rid the alcohol from your system, and you're still going to have to wait for it to be metabolized. So whilst it can certainly help, it's not going to prevent you from being over the limit just because you've eaten a meal. Next is the 1 drink per hour rule. Many people believe that if you have 1 drink per hour, then by the time you get to the next hour, your body's metabolized the drink and you can just carry on all day. That's obviously not true either. Alcohol is going to take longer than 1 hour to get out of your system, particularly if you've got strong alcohol or you're consistently drinking through that hour, so don't believe this one either. Next is the belief that some people can fool the breathalyzer machine by taking a huge deep breath in and then breathing out for a long period of time, because that's how the machine works. But this isn't true either. The machine is specifically designed to detect what they call deep lung air, which is only going to be picked up by the machine when there's a certain amount of pressure, and the machines are very good at this, so I wouldn't bank on that one either. So whilst it should ordinarily, hopefully go without saying, you shouldn't be driving if you've had a drink, but if you find yourself in the position where you've had a drink and you are going to drive, make sure you don't rely on any of these myths and silly things that people do tend to rely on that makes them think they can escape liability under a Section 5 charge, which is drink driving or being in charge of a vehicle whilst unfit through drink or drugs. I hope you found that interesting. Make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching.